I used to suffer from nightmares and night terrors all the time, and I haven't had a single one in over 4 years. Welcome to the Weekly Awakening, and this week's episode I'd like to focus on nightmares and night terrors. Now, one thing that everyone on this planet has experienced is dreams, and nearly the same amount of people have experienced at least one nightmare or night terror. And some people are so afflicted by this that it affects their sleep every night. Now, the first thing that I'd like to convey about dreams is that their purpose is to reflect to us the way that we are using our mind. The majority of nightmares and night terrors is a result of not paying attention to the message that we are being given. And this message is coming from our subconscious mind, as I said before. And so after time and time again of not listening and not heeding the message within our dream, our subconscious mind will then use something that it knows that we will respond to and give attention to the dream, which is our emotions. And ultimately, nightmares are the result of not learning. And that's the whole purpose of our dreams, is there so that we can learn and we can progress. And this is ultimately the reason why I haven't had a nightmare in over 4 years, is because I began using my dreams to learn about myself and to apply the message in that dream to begin to grow. Because you aren't going to learn anything until you apply what you're receiving into your consciousness and into your life to change and grow. And check out my other video on dreams, what do they mean, to discover how to begin writing down your dreams, recording your dreams, interpreting your dreams, and applying that message. Now, just as an example, one common dream that I hear a lot of people have, and I was afflicted with myself, was nightmares about tornadoes. There were always tornadoes, whether it was one big tornado or 30 tornadoes, or tornadoes chasing me, everything's going fine, and then tornadoes appearing out of the sky. There was always a tornado. I never knew what it meant. I always kept dream dictionaries of all kinds, and it kind of made sense, but I always had to piece things together. And once I started learning about the universal language of mind, which says that a tornado is an inner turmoil. And now breaking that down to understand what that means, you have to once again look at the language, look at the image. And as I said before, the universal language of mind is a language of form and function. Now, the form is a tornado, but truly what is that form? It's a wind tunnel and a windstorm. And wind, just like our thoughts, are moving in unseen ways. You don't see the wind, you don't see your thoughts, but you can perceive them moving through your senses. And that is how wind will represent your thoughts. And a windstorm is like a mental storm, just thinking the same thoughts over and over and over again. And once I discovered that that was what my dream was pertaining to, then I could look at the rest of the context within the dream and then be able to identify the day before when I was thinking the same thoughts over and over and over again and not doing anything about it, and it was creating an inner turmoil within me because I was just continuing to think the same thoughts and I wasn't elevating or escalating or upgrading my thinking. Now, as I began to work with that dream and look at the different ways that I was having the same thoughts, I was then in a better position to then identify when that was occurring in the future and be able to change that and progress and identify when I'm thinking these same thoughts over and over and it's creating this inner turmoil, to then consciously choose to think new thoughts, higher thoughts, and the highest thoughts that I can think of. And then that will bring me out of that windstorm into a higher position, a more elevated way of thinking. Another very common dream that I've had, and I think everyone has had, at least if anyone who's had a nightmare has had this nightmare, and it's running from something. Either running from a person, whether seen or unseen, or running for your life from something. And so, like I said before, two things to remember about every dream is that one, every dream is about you, the dreamer. And two, every person, place, or thing within a dream is a part of yourself. So if you're running from something in your dream, and everything in your dream is a part of yourself, then there is a way that you are running from something within yourself. You're not wanting to face something within yourself. And so if you're having a dream like this, then the benefit of that is that you are now aware of something that you are running from and need to face. And this dream is reflecting a need for more self-awareness. Now, if you haven't seen what you're running from or who you're running from, or you have seen them and you don't recognize them, then this means that you're unaware of what it is you're running from. And this is representing and symbolizing a need for more self-awareness. And this is what I promote all the time, is self-awareness. Dreams are a great tool for self-awareness, among many other things. Meditation, astrology, so many things can help you with becoming more aware of yourself. Now, if you have this dream, I would look at the day before and find out what it was about myself that I wasn't wanting to look at or acknowledge. Something that might have been going on and I didn't want to face that part of myself. Maybe I was angry and I was trying to convince myself that I don't need to be angry. Oh, I shouldn't be angry. Anger isn't good. I shouldn't be angry. And so that is totally not honoring and respecting myself, because if I'm feeling that way, then I need to allow myself to feel that emotion and express it in a healthy way so that I can let that emotion manifest and release it. And now, once you've identified what it is that you're needing to face and look at within yourself, then you can determine the best way to go about that, whether that's meditation, reflection, a stream of consciousness writing where you just write for 10-20 minutes nonstop to discover and to unravel what it is within you that you're needing to face. Another very common nightmare is feeling lost or trapped. And as I said, this is all about yourself. And so you'll want to identify the day before where you are wanting to discover more guidance within your life. Where are you going? Where are you going in life? Where are you going with your own progression of who you are? And the context within that dream will help you to convey the issue that is most keeping you from that. Or if you're feeling trapped, you're also not knowing how to get from where you are to where you're desiring to go. You're feeling stuck and feeling trapped. And the best thing to do is first identify where you're wanting to go, and then identify the best first step in order to get there. Every journey begins with the first step. If I want to get from here to the door, and all I do is just figure out how to get there in one giant step, I'll never leave where I'm at. But if I figure out how to take that first step, and then that next step, and then that next step, then I will eventually make my way to where I'm trying to get to. Another common nightmare that a lot of people have is of drowning. And now water symbolizes our life experiences, because like I was saying in the other video, water is the essence of life. We are made up of mostly water. Water is what scientists look for when they're looking for life on other planets, because water brings forth the possibility of life. And so water in our dreams will symbolize our life experiences. And so if we're drowning within the water, then it'll feel like we're drowning within our life experiences. That's why, like a lot of my friends growing up, my father and his friends, they would always say, "Oh, how you doing today?" "I'll just keep my head above water," which is meaning that they're just trying to, stay afloat. They're trying to stay on top of their life experiences and not allow it to drown them and to overwhelm them. And so whenever you're drowning, it'll just symbolize a way that you are feeling overwhelmed from your life experiences. And the thing to learn from that is to identify how to best balance mentally, emotionally, and physically the experiences within your life, and learn how to relax and let go. And so the last example that I'd like to speak on is one that really terrifies a lot of people, and it's of dying or being killed or someone trying to kill them. And so, like I said, everything within a dream is about the dreamer, and it's a part of the dreamer. So it's not saying that you're going to die or someone close to you is going to die or be on the lookout for someone trying to hurt you. It's all about yourself. And now death symbolizes change or transformation and ways that you are changing and transforming. However, are you doing this consciously or unconsciously? Are you choosing to change and transform in the ways that you want to, or are you allowing things outside of yourself to influence the way that you are consciously or unconsciously choosing to change and evolve? And so that's what someone attacking you and trying to kill you or dying in a dream will represent, is the way that you are feeling as if something outside of yourself is forcing you to change. So like, say I go to work every day and I start getting stressed out from work. Work's very stressful. And then eventually I start getting more and more frustrated at home, and more frustrated and angry with my friends. And I'm letting this stress slowly begin to affect my entire life until I become an old Ebenezer Scrooge, and now I'm a whole different person. I've changed from this kind, loving person into this Ebenezer Scrooge because I've allowed things outside of myself to change me into that. And your dreams will show you messages showing you how to catch that and rectify it and heal from it. And if you don't, then, like I said, it will provide a nightmare in order for you to wake up to it and identify and pay attention to the dream. So this is a short video on nightmares so that you can begin to take control of your nightlife so that you no longer have to feel at the mercy or victim to something that is actually there to help you to progress and become better. So good luck on moving forward with your dreams, and I'm excited for you, and so that you can begin having great experiences, because now I no longer have dreams of sword fights in the alley or dragon flying overhead and breathing fire on me. Now I have dreams of skydiving, of flying, of riding BMXs, of whatever I want. Now sometimes there are still dreams with those symbols, yet it'll be totally different. It won't be a nightmare. I won't be scared or afraid. Like, for instance, a year ago, I had a dream with a dragon in it, and I came out of this little hut, and the dragon's, flying past this town in this little village that I'm in, and it's breathing fire, burning these houses and things. And instead of running or being scared, immediately I respond to it, run over at its next pass, jump on its back, and by me jumping on its back and riding it and controlling it, I saved the town. I had control of it, and it no longer terrorized the village. And it became a very exhilarating and thrilling experience. And it was so vivid and I was so lucid in the moment that right now, thinking about it, it's just as prevalent in my mind as if it was a memory of something that I actually experienced in the physical life. And so that's the beauty that I look forward to you experiencing within your own dreams, to be able to have these experiences that you're unable to have in this physical life because there aren't dragons. So until next time, next week, I say to you, peace.